I'm back talking about my managers again, dude. I got a second corrective action. A second one. All right? Now, here's the thing. Don't get me wrong. I did come in late a little bit in August. That's for sure. But we have a 95% expected reliability. Granted, I understand that. I had great numbers in July for reliability. In fact, I was almost at a near 99%, or around that amount. And then August, I have a 92.9% reliability. I just got to tell everybody, the company I work for is a terrible company. And I am like halfway like wanting to just reveal what company this is because I'm sick of them. I hope they fire me. I really do. So my manager expected me to acknowledge a corrective action, and I want to explain why I'm not acknowledging it, and why, if any manager forces you to acknowledge something that you don't agree with and you feel is wrong, and you need to take it up, don't acknowledge it. Do not acknowledge it. They'll force you, and my manager tried to bully me into acknowledging it. I was like, nope, I refuse. I will not allow this bullying to happen. I am tired of being bullied. It's the craziest thing. I have great stats. And yes, my reliability slipped a little bit in August. That doesn't mean I'm on the wrong trail. In fact, if anything, you're forcing me down an even more annoying path where I'm even wondering if I want to work for this clown company. By the way, guess what? So we have PTO and we have wellness time. Did you know that if I would have took wellness time instead of PTO, which I had 40 hours of, I didn't realize that wellness couldn't be used against me for reliability. So if I would have chose wellness for the one day I was legitimately sick, and yeah, I came in late a little bit, and then I also had a very toxic conversation with one of our people ahead of, like, even higher above the managers that I've had to deal with. Like, I'm stunned. I work for the most unprofessional company in the world. Yeah, I can't. I'm speechless. Like, I almost fully crashed out. I almost said, I thought about it so many times. The amount of times I wanted to tell them to go F themselves, it was there. I've never been so ashamed to work for this stupid company in my life. You know what's crazy is I do put up good stats. I take a look every single day. I compare my stats to the morning crew stats as I get out, right? And I outpace the morning crew in calls accepted. By the way, we take phone calls. This is what we do, right? The job stresses me out a little bit, but not that much. Not as much as management does. Management has been the root cause of the stress. Okay? So, like, this is blowing my mind. I mean, I'm about to just do DoorDash. Straight up. So my buddy Anthony makes pretty good money. I've got a great car. I think I'm done with the call center life. But if I quit, here's the deal. I don't get unemployment. However, if I refuse to sign this corrective action, which is wrong, by the way, maybe they'll fire me. Or maybe they'll retract it. Maybe they'll do the right thing and retract it, but they won't. They never do the right thing. They say they're a people company. They're not. In fact, they are probably the least people-oriented company I've ever met. And honestly, if they fire me, it is a blessing. I am treating it like an opportunity. It's freedom, right? It's freedom if they fire me. But yeah, if you guys can, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm having a very rough time. I'm upset. It's been a while. I don't, like I said, the only time I ever complain about management is when they pull some shit. All right. And management has pulled the ultimate shit. It's funny. They say they want to keep people, but they don't. They punish the people who produce the most. And yeah, do I come in late on occasion? Yes. I try not to. I really try not to. But honestly, the desire to come in, I legitimately have, and I hate using anxiety as an excuse, but it's true. Management gives me anxiety. Management is the root cause of the anxiety that I'm feeling. I try not to give them that power. But I often wonder every day that I come into work, what are they going to make me feel guilty about? What, you know what I mean? Like, even though there's nothing, I put up good stats, I put up good numbers. I really actually legitimately try at this job. And I feel like all I get is there's no incentive to want to do better. Even though I do, it's funny. I actually put up better stats than the morning crew. And when the morning crew's done, I'm like, okay, well I can see the amount of calls they've taken. I can see their handle time overall, and my handle time tends to beat them. Now, there's one person who has really good handle time. She's incredible, and I think she quit recently because I didn't see her name in Zendesk. So it's like, management they burned their bridge with me. At this point, I'm not going to quit. I'm going to try to get fired. Yes, you heard me. Management, I know you watch this channel. I'm going to try to get fired. I'm not going to quit. So fire me. All right? Yeah, I don't really want to get fired, but you know what? Well, actually, at this point, because you're my managers, I think firing would be a blessing. But I don't really want that. In fact, I like doing the job that I do. And I think I can still continue to do it. But you're not making it easy, man. You're not making it easy. And I work for the worst company in the world. I wouldn't say the worst company in the world. There's worst companies to work for. So I'm not gonna exaggerate that, but they're a pretty crappy company, is what I'm trying to say. They're not a people first. They're not a people friendly company like they claim to be. They praise incompetence, and it's insanity. And I do want to shed some light on some things people have said. I'm tempted to go to the Reddit page of the company I work for and just expose how much people hate this company. I've grown to hate this company that I work for. I really have. I've grown to despise it. I've grown to despise the management, the stuck-up management who makes me feel like I don't even know why I even do this job. And then I make real progress and I get slapped. Real progress, by the way. The whole point of a corrective action, by the way, is to show that progress has been made. I had 1 month where I had an 80% reliability. It was not a good month for me. It was not a good month for me. And yet I got written up. Cool. They can't let anything slide, can they? Well, I'm not going to let this slide. I'm not going to let this injustice slide. In fact, I refuse to acknowledge it. I refuse to acknowledge a corrective action that I feel is wrong, and I will take it up to the highest level that I have to. Because I'm tired of being stepped on by managers who think they can control me. They cannot control me. By the way, you cannot control me. Not going to let you do it. Not going to let you bully me either. Bully me all you want. You're a piece of work. You're all pieces of work. Ultimately, like I said, I don't really want to quit, but I don't have a lot of options right now. I do need to spruce up my resume a little bit, though. So I am going to actually probably use ChatGPT to make my resume look sexier. I do have an Indeed account and stuff, but yeah, this is just psycho. The whole company is just a bunch of psychos, and I'm actually done with it. I want to be done with it. Hold on, one moment. All I know is at the end of the day, I just feel depressed, and it gets to the point where I just don't want to work for the company anymore. It's a fucking shame, man. Like I want to cry. Like I've been with this company for so long, And now it's gotten to the point where I'm getting a second corrective action because it's targeting. And you know what? Because they're targeting me, let's do this. Maybe we should go to this company's Reddit that has made me feel so terrible. Maybe expose them for the cretin they are. Because I'm not the only one who's had problems with this company, by the way. I'm not the first. Certainly probably not going to be the last. The irony is, like I said, I produce at a high level. Is my reliability in question sometimes? Yes, tardiness does happen. I try very hard not to come back a minute late from lunch. I try very hard to make sure I'm clocked in. And you know what's funny? I even sent text messages to my supervisor, and I guess she never made the proper adjustments because the technology that we use, the computers, are a little slow sometimes. So no, I'm being targeted to the nth degree. This is targeting. I'm sick of the company I work for. Sorry, I need a second to thank you guys. I'm still in a little bit of a state of shock. I'm just debating in my head whether I want to just go to the company subreddit and just show people. Because the companies try to gaslight me so much that I think, maybe I should just show relation experience. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think I should? You guys think I should show and reveal the company I work for, at least the TTEC? Oh, I said it. I said the name of the company. Uh-oh. Hope you guys didn't hear that. TTEC? Doesn't matter anyway. Probably going to get fired because I am disputing the second corrective action that was wrongfully given to me, and I'm expected to acknowledge something that I don't want to acknowledge. I refuse to acknowledge something that I feel is incorrect. You know what's funny is that my manager says that she wants the truth from me, huh? She wants to be truthful. She wants truthfulness out of all of us. Good. Well, my truth is this: if you give me a BS corrective action based on one single technicality, I'm not gonna accept that. No. No. I am not gonna accept that. Sorry. I refuse to be bullied by my awful managers. By the way, they are terrible. You know what? Screw it. We've already burned enough bridges today. Let's burn a few more. I'm so tempted right now to put the TTEC Reddit up. By the way, just go check out the TTEC Reddit. Honestly, I don't even care anymore. TTEC. They are a terrible company. I can't believe I still work for them. And they are awful people. So, just going to say that right now. Terrible company. You don't give me a second written warning on a technicality. That's unfair. And I won't acknowledge something, because for me to acknowledge that is to acknowledge that somebody who is targeting me is right? No. I refuse. I refuse. I'll fight it. I'll keep on fighting it. Because like I said, I refuse to get bullied. It's the way I operate. And I'm sure they're not happy. But do you think I care? I guess the truth is I just don't like being treated like garbage. And I've been treated like crap. I really have. The people who typically complain are the people who underperform and don't do anything. The sad part is I'm the opposite. Like, my stats are in the top tier of statistics. But I'm treated like garbage. And I just, I think when I'm putting up these good numbers, and there's a technicality, by the way, 92.9% on my reliability for the month of August, but like 98 or 99% for July. The first corrective action, okay. I had an off August. I was at 80%. That's pretty rough. But I was in A- territory for August. And I was also almost to mid-A. And you know what? That also wouldn't have been there if I would have just used some wellness time, I found out. So I'm not going to allow a technicality to get me a second write-up, a second corrective action, when I think that's bullcrap. And, it's so funny. One of my supervisors, my lead, I should say, who gives me my one-on-ones, takes wellness days quite frequently. I didn't even realize that wellness days weren't used against me. And I don't even take that much time off. I work my ass off on this job, and I get treated like piss. And you know what? I'm tired of getting treated like piss. I'm done. This is it. This is it. I've already revealed the name of the company. Let's just see what sort of trash we can get on here. And by the way, I'm not going to filter any of these results that are on there. I'm just going to show exactly what's on there. I'll let you guys decide how stupid this company is. See, TTEC, using own equipment. I completed everything. I'm confused. First day of training. We're just going to look through these. Let's look through this together. First day. I like to look at the comments too. How long does it take to get assigned to a project? I resigned from TTEC on Friday. Let's see. Maybe I can get some inspiration. Maybe I can get inspiration from these people. So this person said, I resigned from TTEC on Friday. I resigned on Friday from TTEC and have not looked back. I have been so happy the last 2 days just to be out of that company, moving to another company, more pay, and far very welcoming from all the communications that I've got. Okay, so this is B-Stone 2018 is saying this. I'm just looking at these people, seeing if they feel the same way that I feel. We'll see. I'm kind of curious about the comment threads. Good for you. TTEC is the most... This person says psychologically lie. Says, good for you. TTEC is the most toxic company ever. Stay away from them for your own mental health. You'll be lied to, bullied, intimidated, and threatened on a regular basis. Holy crap. Yes. It's true. It's true. Congratulations. I have gone from the company as of 1 month ago. Measuring rises. I resigned after 4 years last September. These people are looking happy. These people are probably very excited. And like I said, I'm fine with doing DoorDash. If I have to do DoorDash, I think at this point I'd rather. I'll do DoorDash and YouTube. Screw it. Academic Army says, who are the stable companies? Why waste time applying at TTEC? Can you share the name of the company? Thanks. I'm moving to Ensemble. Some say it's like TTEC, but from my interactions so far, it's nothing like TTEC. Even the computer equipment is much better. Everyone so far has been super nice. I started on Tuesday. I wish the best for you. Congratulations. Okay. Congratulations. I resigned a week ago too. Congrats. Quick summary of what was so bad and what the company... I see this a lot. I start in a couple of weeks, but I really need the money. If you need the money, that's good for that. Just don't take any time off work hard and save up for your wellness and vacation time. Learn the line of business they're training you for. Da 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 da. Heh. Let's see. Unknown Redditor says exactly. I think a lot of the people that come here to complain are just entitled folks. In a few months, I'll see OP having the same issues as the new company. So here's the thing. For me personally, I've been with this company for over 12 years, and it has gone downhill. Like, if my statistics were bad naturally, I seriously would throw in the white towel, or red flag, or whatever, or the white flag, or whatever the term is. But yeah, this company blows. It's one of those things that, like, I'm just so fed up, and yeah, it feels good to just let out my anger. Because you know what? I feel like management doesn't listen to me. Maybe you guys will. But I want it to be out there in the ether that TTEC has not treated me very well. I'm not done with the company, but after this video, I might be. I'm not going to quit, though. But I am going to show you all that it's just a warning. You know what? If you need the money, fine. Work for TTEC. Honestly, I don't know if the pay is even worth it at this point for me personally. I've gotten a lot of grief from management. Management makes me feel like garbage, complete garbage. And there is levels of gaslighting, by the way. It's real. Like, it may not be everybody's experience, by the way. I'm not saying every manager at this company is a bad manager, but what I'm trying to say is that I'm pretty sure we're not dealing with the best managers in the world. They probably think the same about, first off, my management, even though they know that my stats are good, they are tired of me. Straight up. Like, we have gotten into some arguments, for sure. And I'm done. But yeah, this person says, yeah, I just got notice of the assessment. Depends on the program. Some of them are good. Some have toxic leadership. Absolutely. The leadership I have to deal with is rough. What office location is that at? I was work from home. Yep. Why would you resign on holiday weekend? You won't get paid for Labor Day now. Good luck on your journey. I'll start dating my new job as once it turns. Yeah, let's see. This person says, I'm amazed this company is still in business despite its bad revolving door tactics. It's because they handle multiple projects and are always hiring. It's a call center, man. You'll need to understand this. Call centers don't care about being revolving doors, but there are others out there far more stable than TTEC. Amen. Yeah, I come here for now. I quit TTEC too. Yeah, it's funny. So it used to be FCR, then the FCR merged into TTEC, and then that's essentially what ended up happening with the whole thing. I feel really good about this, by the way. Fire me. You want to. I know you do. And yeah. You either want me to quit. I think that the goal is to try to make me so uncomfortable and so annoyed that they want me to quit. And that's absolutely the goal. I've never had to deal with this in my life. I feel like this is absolute favoritism. Not favoritism. On the contrary, it is targeting. If anything, this is targeting. And I'm not buying it. You can gaslight me all you want, but I refuse to acknowledge something that's inaccurate. And I'm not going to have a second corrective action due to a technicality. When my lazy freaking supervisor takes wellness days all the time, which it could be justified, by the way. Could be justified. But I was sick one day in August. Like, legitimately sick. I had to call out for the whole freaking day. Yeah, so it's one of those things that they're looking for a reason, and I guess they're finding whatever reason they want, and good for them. Good for them. All I know is, hey, TTEC, it was fun while it lasted. I will say I am grateful that I've been able to make money doing this job, and I'm grateful that I've been able to do a good job. But this has to stop. I still want to work for this company if it could stop being a clown company. But if it's going to keep being a clown company, I mean, if I quit, I get nothing out of the deal. Me quitting, I get nothing. So how about I get unemployment? Wrongful termination? Balachi says, "What's up, buddy?" No, dude, I'm angry. I'm trying not to be, but I'm angry. I'm furious. I feel isolated and mentally alone. So I know I got people that care about me. There's nothing to worry about, really. I got a second written warning, and I'm blown away, man. It's wrong. It's on a technicality too, because all I had to do on one of the days that I was actually sick, and also, by the way, the funny thing is they don't account for the fact that I had a very frustrating, terrible meeting with one of the upper management people where she basically gaslit me and basically bullied me. It made me feel like garbage. And it was one of the worst conversations I'd ever had with upper management. It made me almost quit the company that day. I didn't, though, because I was like, I want to get paid. I'm good at my job. Why should I quit when I'm good at my job, So, yeah, I don't trust my management anymore. That trust is gone. I don't know if I'll be able to have a job tomorrow. Maybe I won't. Maybe my job is gone. Maybe I wrote a very lengthy message to the HR lady. She greenlighted it, by the way, without knowing any of the context. Context matters. Context absolutely matters. All right. But she didn't. She knew that she knows that I'm having trouble with management. She knows that management's been the root cause of all the stress that I've had to deal with. Yeah, I'm crashing out right now. I'm crashing out hard. But yeah, the company's, by the way, the company's called TTEC. I don't care anymore. They're a terrible company. They're awful. I was looking at some of their Reddit posts. It's a bad company, dude. Not a company worthy of my time anymore, I think. At this point, it's either them or I. If they want to get rid of me, they should just get rid of me. Tim Smith says TTEC dropped 3.64% today on the NASDAQ after they attacked Garza. Yep. They burned a bridge with me today. In fact, you know what? Let's show more Reddit. I'm revealing to the world that I work for TTEC. I work for a bad company. And if they fire me, bravo. Fire me. I don't want you to, really. I actually do want to work for the company, oddly enough, because I do enjoy doing what I do. The problem is management. And when management is terrible, and it's funny because I'm not the only person who's dealt with this gaslighting problem. People come on this all the time. Maybe not all the time, all the time, but check this out. Let's see. There's other threads. Well, I don't think Reddit's always a good source of information, but sometimes if you want to see some grievances, hell yeah. Let's see. Tim Smith says TTEC share price is down 99% since 2021. Yep. Absolutely, brother. It's a bad company. Like it's honestly a bad company, and I think I'm glad that I'm finally evolving to the point where I want them to fire me. This is an evolution right now. You guys are witnessing an evolution. TTEC, if you want to fire me, have at it. Because it would be a wrongful termination. You want to know why? Because I do perform at a high level. And yeah, the only reason you gave me a second written warning, a second corrective action, is because of a technicality. 92.9% for August, 98 or whatever it was, like 98 or 99% reliability for July. All right. Within those 2 months, you couldn't have averaged out. You on a technicality of 2.1%, you give me another write-up. When I was trying and I was legitimately sick one day, and if I was there that one day, we wouldn't have had this conversation, wouldn't have gotten the written up. And I found out that I could have used wellness. I thought wellness was used against you, to be honest. I thought they would have used wellness against me because they're pricks. Come to find out, wellness isn't used against me. So I could have used wellness and had no idea. But they act like if I take any time off, it's the end of the world. Everybody's going to die. We're already short-staffed, by the way. And it's on purpose because people want to quit, right? People want to quit because management's terrible. The client that I work for is not that great. I won't say who the client is because I will keep the client confidentiality there, but I will say this. I work for TTEC, and I'm tired of TTEC bullying me. Bullying. It is pure bullying. I've had it. And also, Tim Smith says TTEC share price is down 99% since 2021. Good. They deserve it. Since I work for the company, I mean, honestly, if it would technically be insider trading for me to get put contracts, so I can't do that, unfortunately. Because I think this company's bad. It is funny. I am a TTEC shareholder. The irony of all this, I am actually a TTEC shareholder. I own like 6 shares of TTEC because I bought it when it was on a really bad dip. So technically, they would be firing a shareholder. Because I don't even have the shares through the company itself. I actually bought the shares of my brokerage as an independent shareholder. So overall, I am a TTEC investor. So yeah, overall, ugh. This is a bad company, you guys. Tim, it's good to see you, brother. I'm sorry. You know what? I figured it's like I've talked about how much grief they've given me over the last few months. And I just thought, you know what? My time at TTEC is slowly coming to an end, I think. And if I'm going to go out, it's better to burn out than fade away. So I'm going to burn out. I'm going to crash out in this live video. So yeah, let's see. So TTEC train. So this is interesting. So there's TTEC train. Tim Smith says 2021 Forbes names TTEC one of the world's top female-friendly companies. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe they're just mean to men. I don't know. Because I get treated like garbage and I'm a high performer. So, and when I say high performer, I actually outpace. By the way, so I check my stats at the end of the day. I compare my stats to the morning crew stats because it's kind of unfair for me to compare my stats to the evening crew because, I don't really know what their stats end up being at the end of the day. But I can compare my stats to the morning crew. And come to find out, my handle time at the end of the shift, my talk time's a little high, but not too high. It's a little bit above the 4-minute marker. But my wrap time is like 5 to 10 seconds. So my average handle time is still extremely, extremely low when the goal is about 5 minutes, 30 seconds for the overall handle time. But I'm getting a like 4-minute 30 or 4-minute 40 second average handle time. So I'm within the realm. But yeah, no, I'm here to just say that right now I wanted to do this for you guys. You guys have been very supportive of me throughout these trying times with a terrible company. And you know what, TTEC? I gotta just come clean. You guys are awful. You guys are a bad company. And yeah, I don't want you to fire me, but you've really burned your bridge with me. HR is just there's no context in anything. Nobody cares about the context. And I you know what? I wouldn't be so upset with this if I wasn't trying so hard to have avoided this, right? I was really trying. Like I made a real effort. Like it was so frustrating. Like I really, really tried. I tried. That was right there. And all because of a technicality. Literally, if I would have used wellness time instead of PTO, I would have been over the 95% threshold of reliability, and this conversation that conversation today, that unpleasant conversation, would have never happened. But it did, and I'm done with this company. Let's see. Living with relapse or infection. Oh, that's an ad. That's an ad. Let's see what else we're talking about here. Next pay date and first date of training. I start on any tips on the first day. Training on this pay date. Any tips? I wonder what the tips are. Probably leave. Let's see. I'm currently in the process of going back in the role. Any idea line of business? What is a line of business? What state are you going to? Do you know if you'll provide services? That's more people just inquiring. Good question. Yeah. I just want to see. I'm looking at some of the hate porn. I want to look at the hate porn here. This is so healthcare customer rep. So this person's considering the position at TTEC, and they had a few questions. Is this job generally a bad experience? I haven't scheduled my interview yet because I'm not looking to start until mid-August and wasn't sure how soon to start after the interview. Let's see here. Look at the other threads, but first look at this thread, looking for more and more last thread, as well as the other threads. This place will drain you physically, mentally, emotionally, and psychologically. Yes, weekends are required. They tell you that you could pick your shift, but it can change the day before production without notice or warning. They don't care if it screws with your schedule. It can be as much as 2 to 3 months after the interview to start. Depends on how many people they get into the licensing class and get them to pass the license test. Delays in start date are common because people will get their license at TTEC costs, then bolt for a better job. Here's what I recommend. Take the job, in my personal opinion, until you find something better. Let them get your license. Stay for the paid training. But once you get your license, there will be more opportunity since companies want licensed people. So as soon as you get the license, I'll apply to more places. That's some good advice, dude. This person right here is giving some interesting advice. I like that. Tim Smith says the next Reddit thread is called TTEC Dumpster Fire. Oh, it's a dumpster fire, all right, man. I'm sorry to lay this on so thick, you guys. I'm exhausted. Like, I'm sick of my management. I'm sick of the bullying. I'm sick of the gaslighting. I'm done. I'm just done. And it feels good to know. It feels good to know that other people are struggling with the bullshit. Because, like I said, I've been with this company for over, what was it? 2012. Actually, over 13 years almost. I'm almost on my 13th year anniversary being with this company. And what do I have to show for it? I mean, I've done a good job, gotten paid. You know, it's given me the ability to invest like a crazy maniac. I'm closer to retirement than I could ever imagine. But at this point, I might have to quit, man. But we'll see. I mean, I'm just going to keep working there. Maybe they'll fire me because this video, because I revealed how terrible of a work environment the place is. And yeah, am I shitting where I work? Sure. But they shat on me first. And I am done. I am done with being crapped on, everybody. I am done. I don't have any major debt. I just have my car loan. And you know what? To hell with that, because I could just straight up do DoorDash. I really could. I could do Instacart, DoorDash. I could do Uber, which I am signed up to be an Uber driver, by the way. So there's plenty of opportunities for me. And if all else fails, I have 13 years of experience doing call center work, and I can get in at any position that I want for the most part. I mean, I didn't ask for much. You know, the irony is that I'm not trying. Here's the thing. The first thing that some people are going to think is this guy's a victim and a complainer. On the contrary, the only time I really complain is when I have to deal with management because management's immature. More immature than I am. All right. And yeah, happy go lucky right now. You guys deserve this. You guys earned this smack. And you know what? I don't even have to say anything because the TTEC Reddit says it all. But yeah, they want to fire me? Good. Then I'm going to give them all the ammunition they want. Look at this video. Look at me. I'm talking so bad about a company that is bad. Yeah, so let's see. Tim Smith says, go to the main page and check the thread where the guy calls it a dumpster fire. So, hold on. So you're saying... which one are you talking? Are you talking about this one right here, the one that says I'm beyond done with this company, or am I looking for a different one? Different one here. Here, let me just do Control F real quick. I'm going to look up dumpster. Two weeks ago. Oh, okay. So let's see. Where he said left 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. Okay, hold on. Oh, here we go. I think I found it. Yeah, here it is. 2 weeks later post. Is this the one? I'm assuming this is the one right here. 2 weeks later post jumping ship. I feel much calmer now that I left this dumpster fire. Is this the one you're talking about, Mr. Tim? I will say, though, if you are looking for money, I mean, this isn't the worst job in the world. Just don't fall in love with the job like I did, because I honestly was having a good time just trying my best. And yeah. Yeah, that one. Okay, so 2 weeks later, post jump ship. Let's see what they're saying here. I feel much calmer now that I left this dumpster fire. The job that I work now is on way better schedule, so I can enjoy my evenings now. If you still work for TTEC, the sooner you get out, the better. Trust me. That right there. I mean, I'm feeling a lot of encouragement right now when I see these people. Now, here's the thing. If I quit, I don't think I get any opportunity for unemployment. That's a big deal to me. I want to be able to get unemployment almost like a severance package for them being so cruel to me over the last year. It's been not even the last year. Maybe it's more like 8 months. You know, when I first started the client that I was on in TTEC, I enjoyed it a little bit. I had some troubles. I had some struggles at first, but my stats are good. The thing that pisses me off is my stats are good. Really good. I'm not going to say like I'm the best on the team. No. But I am in the top 3 out of like 6 people now. So I'm mid-range. But I'm pretty close to the people at the top because I compare my stats. It's like I might as well. It's like I'm always afraid of getting fired or laid off. So it's like, who knows when that'll happen, right? Now, Psychological Lie says, hold on. Isn't life so much better after TTEC? Imaginary Right says, you're darn right. That's like, why should I leave because you guys are treating me like crap? How about this? I'm you. If you want me gone so badly, then just fire me. Don't give me a second written. Don't give me a second corrective action on a technicality when you know it's a technicality, and you know I was struggling a little bit in August. But nobody asks that question. This company claims to be a people company. It is not. Trust me, it is not. And I think the best thing I could say is, yeah, don't be an idiot like I. Don't be dumb. All right. Let's see. Friendly Recipe says, where are people finding remote jobs that aren't TTEC or teleperformance tech? I actually went through the workforce in my city. Thank you for that. I'm going to see if we have anything like that. They offer so much. I'm definitely trying to stay remote, but keeping my options open for sure. Luckily, I'm always okay with doing things like DoorDash and stuff like that. I want to just tell you guys that right now. Rich Educational says LinkedIn, Glassdoor, Wajab Queen. Let's see. Okay, Willingness says I got fired from Teleperformance July 7th. They claimed call avoidance, but their computers went down so much it was unexpected. Yeah, also, by the way, the equipment that I use, some of the reasons I came in late, even though I had messaged my supervisor, it was never taken into account that I was late because of technical issues. So that went against me as well. I'm targeted. I'm done. Not going to allow it. The tech sucks. TTEC sucks. All I asked was for a fair shake, and I've been doing a very good job. Like, I feel psycho right now. I feel like retribution time. Ugh. Because you know what? I really don't like being treated like crap. And when I get treated like crap, don't screw with me. I'm going to tell you guys right now. I'm going to look in the camera because I have a feeling that somehow, some way, somebody from TTEC watches my videos. I want to tell you this. Good. I don't care whether you're management. I don't care what you are. Management is terrible at TTEC. Trust me. Management's terrible. Now, maybe not all of them. Maybe it does depend on client by client. One of my buddies is on another client, and he feels very supported. And this is within the same company, by the way. When I say client, I mean the company that we do outsourcing for. Like I said, I keep the client confidentiality there. I don't actually reveal which client I work for, but I do reveal that I work for TTEC. And TTEC has been actually not very nice to me. And the reason that I'm going insane right now in front of you guys on live camera is because I got nowhere else to turn. I don't. I really don't. And I hate that. But I'm not going to be bullied. I'm not going to be pushed out of a job where my stats clearly show that I'm good. And yeah, had I have some issues in August? Absolutely. But did anybody ever ask why I was having trouble? No. They just assume that I'm being a piece of shit or something. So, whatever. Like, I'm done with management. Man, I'm sure management's done with me. But that's all right. Give me a minute, you guys. I just need to step away for a bit. I'm going to probably put something in the oven. Sorry, you guys. I got to admit, I am a little bit emotional right now, and I really am sorry about that. Feel free to while you're waiting for me, I'm just gonna put something in the oven real quick. But check out the TTEC subreddit. Am I digging my own grave by doing this video? Sure. But at this point, I think the grave is already dug. So I got nothing to lose at this point. Boltachi says, if you think that's me, I don't work for TTEC. I've never heard of it. No, it's fine. I don't care. I don't care whether you work for TTEC or whether you don't. That's up to you. Just a warning. But hey, if you need money and you're desperate, it's better than sucking D, I guess. I'm going to show you guys a little trick that I do with olive oil. Check this out. See this? So I'm going to let it slide a little bit. You see the olive oil goes down. Allows you to disperse it a lot easier. I'm pretty sure everybody knows this trick that I'm using, but boom. There we go. All right. Gotta. But what do you guys think? You guys checking out the TTEC subreddit? Good. But yeah, I'll admit I've never been so ready to burn a bridge with a company before. I'll tell you that. Well, you guys want to see me eat a chocolate cake Twinkie? So Balachi says I want the Rockaway Beach man in New York City Queen. Oh, yeah. Yep. Hmm. Pretty good. Oh yeah. All I had to do was not make me feel like crap. I mean, like, seriously, I don't ask for a lot. Like, I really do make a real effort. Then what do I get? I get bullshit. I just am so frustrated. Oh, it's okay, bud. It's okay. I just I'm trying not to get dramatic about this, but I've already crossed that bridge. I'm dramatic as shit right now. I'm mad. I think anybody in my position would be angry, especially when look, I'm not the most timely person. I really try. I haven't last 2 months. Man, I made a real effort. But also, nobody asked about the fact that August was, by the way, this August of last year, just as a heads up to my management team, which didn't even consider this, my mom was in the fucking hospital. I was having a tough August, all right? It was my birthday. I had a terrible birthday last year. My mom had to be flown into Portland. Like, they didn't consider the fact that I was having a rough August already and I wasn't getting a lot of sleep. And I know that's no excuse and you still have to come into work. And I did go into work, by the way. I was a little late sometimes, I'll admit it. And August was not my month. I still tried. I still tried, which is like what was really blowing my mind about all this. And I was only like 2.1% off from meeting the reliability for August. I met it in July with flying colors. But nobody asks why the pattern's happening. Nobody tries to understand. They just want to throw the book at me and say, you need a corrective. Now I'm on my second. If I mess up again, that's their biggest opportunity to fire my ass, and they probably will, because they've proven time and time again through their actions that they don't like me, and it's getting to the point where I'm just done. So, hey, TTEC, you're a bad company with a bad culture. You got bad managers. Maybe some are good. I'm not going to blanket everybody and say all managers are bad. I'm sure there are managers who really try their best and really try to be understanding. But there are some make me wonder why I even do the job to begin with. And it's been bad. It's been real bad. So yeah, I'm proud of this video. If you guys want to know the truth, I'm very proud of doing this video. I think it was needed. I think it was necessary, and just gotta try, man. I gotta try. In other news, our boy Bill Belichick got stomped by TCU. He's the coach of the Carolina Tar Heels right now, and that was a real ass kicking, by the way. Still love me some Belichick, though. Everybody loves Belichick. Let's see. But then again, it's like, and I've tried to consider, like, maybe I'm in the wrong somehow. And I have, like, By the way, I'm never fully convinced that I'm right about anything. Maybe that is my problem. Maybe I should have a little more conviction. But today was just kind of a reminder that, dude, I'm right. I'm right. This, and you know what's funny? I have several threads of TTEC people who seem to back my claim. And I didn't even have to ask them to back my claim. They've already said it enough. So yeah, I don't see any hope for this company. And honestly, I don't want anybody to lose their jobs, if you want my take. But honestly, my management team, they clearly, by their actions, have said, yeah, Mike, we want you to lose your job. We want to target the shit out of you, even though we clearly see that you're making progress. So I'm about ready to pack up the system and send it back to them. And I think one of our people quit because I couldn't find them in Zendesk at all. So let's see. Boltacci says, is asking, how long do these correctives hold on your record? They hold for about they actually hold for 2 months. And so I had my first one. Okay. I made a tip about that as well. And then July, I actually had really good reliability. So they were measuring it on July and August. So my reliability was like 98 or 99%. Fair. That's pretty good. On July. And then my reliability for August slipped to a 92. And I want this to be very clear, a 92.9%. That is 2.1% away from the 95% reliability goal. And you're going to do me dirty on a technicality. Really? Really? So I refuse to acknowledge it. In fact, I'm telling HR they better retract it, or I'm just not going to acknowledge it because I don't acknowledge it. I don't believe it's right. I believe it's bullying. It's bullying for a technicality. They know what they're doing, right? So if I would have used wellness time instead of PTO on the day that I was sick, and I even called out, let them know I was sick, not feeling good at all, I wanted to get paid. I thought if I used wellness, it would have been used against me. So I was like, well, might as well get paid, right? So it turns out I should have used wellness because I guess it isn't used against me. Huh. Whoa. Like, what? Like, I'm sick to my stomach, man. I really am. Like, I'm working for... I don't even know what kind of company I'm working for anymore, man. All I know is I actually legitimately feel shame that I still work for them. Like, what a fucking sellout am I? What kind of example am I to anybody? I'm still working for this godforsaken company. Sorry, folks, just looking at a couple things. But yeah, 2 months. And you know what's funny? Like I said, July was great. August, I slipped a bit. It doesn't mean that I'm on path to ruin. I just had a bad August. And I was trying. Like, it all would have took, if I would have known that wellness wouldn't have been used against me, I would have gladly used wellness on the day that I was sick. But now it's too late. And now I got a second corrective, all because of that. So I refuse to accept it because it's on a technicality, and a little tiny technicality, by the way. And I feel like it's being used against me. I've like I said, I've never been this disgusted. I'm sick, man. I'm sick of this. But hey, anybody work for TTEC? If anybody's watching live, if you work for TTEC, let me know how much of a crappy company you think it is, or a good company. Maybe you could come to TTEC's defense and how great of a company it is. And if you want to say it's great, fine. Maybe you had a better experience than I did. Maybe you had good managements on the client that you're on. But TTEC blows. TTEC blows. It's a bad company. And I'm proud to say that I am basically over it. I will continue to work for them until they decide to find some sort of crap on me, which maybe they'll find this video and say, "You're fired." It's like, good for me, because this company's trash. And because, you know what, you're taking a high-performance person and you're turning them against you. That's what you're doing, TTEC. You're letting these managers walk all over me and actually be dicks to me. Be real dicks. And when you feel like you got nowhere else to turn, sometimes you just have to speak the truth. And the truth is, hey, TTEC, you're a bad company. Managers that I have, you're bad managers. You make me feel like shit all the time. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Anytime there's a one-on-one with the lead that I have to deal with, she's never made the experience very great. It's always like I always feel like my job's on the line. It's stupid. I've never felt this way in my life working for this company. And the level of gaslighting, it's real. When somebody who's been working for a company for 13 years is telling you that it's bad, at the end of it, yeah, it's bad. Bultachi says 2 months is doable, bro. You know, here's the problem. It's not that it isn't doable. I'm angry that I got it because I thought wellness would have, if I would have just used wellness. I didn't realize I could have used my wellness time and not have it used against me. Like, I would have gladly used my wellness time. Heck yeah. And then I wouldn't have had that second corrective. But here's the thing. It's not that I can't do it. I guess clearly I can't. Who knows? Cross your T's and dot your I's for 2 months. Yeah. Look, here's the thing. The lesson that this taught me is for the next 2 months, if I have to miss time for work, I got to use wellness. Only wellness. Every time. Every single time I got to use wellness. So. I guess I'm just really upset, you guys. I'm more upset than I thought I would be, I think is the problem. I don't even want to be this upset, but I just am. And I'm hurting. If we're going to be honest, I'm hurting inside a little bit because I really wanted this job to work. I really did, because I've been doing this job for 13 years. I'm coming up on my 13th anniversary. And chances are they're going to find a way to fire me. They're going to find some sort of technicality or something ridiculous. And so I guess the thing is, I'm just going to come in really early. So they say that I can't clock in until 3 minutes before my shift actually starts. I'm just going to clock in at 6:55 every morning. They say, because you know what? Fine. You want me to be on time? I could do that. And if I have to miss work in the next 2 months, I'll use wellness. That's all I got to do. All I got to do. Because if you're going to use technicalities like that on me, I'll use technicalities like that on you. I'll use wellness. I got plenty of wellness hours. And I got plenty of PTO, too. But yeah, I'm done with this company. I'm literally just working this job to make money. And yeah, I'll do my best. Absolutely. I will absolutely do my best to be the best version of myself. I can't believe I got to go to work for 2 more days, though, and deal with these people. This awful management, dude. Fuck. God. Like, you guys have, like, I don't think they realize, the worst part is I don't think they realize how crappy they are to me. How bad they make me feel. How much I always feel like I'm going to lose my job even though my performance is excellent. Boltachi says, I mean, if you think they're going to fire you, you should absolutely get all the benefits you can before they do. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. And you know what? I don't know if they will, but I'm going to be very prepared. I'm going to be eating nothing but rice. I'm going to, just in case, because you never know. I'm going to, keep betting against Bitcoin and stuff like that. I'm going to really minimize my spending. Yeah. But hey, give me one moment. I got to thank my girlfriend though. She's been very supportive. She understands the pain I'm going through. But yeah, I gotta give her a shout out. She treats me very well. I'm the luckiest guy in the world that she gets it, and she knows that how hard of a worker I am. And not just a hard worker, I am a smart worker, and I'm no slouch. I really am no slouch. I think that's the part that pisses me off. Yeah, and I think they're looking to fire me. And honestly, after this video, if they even get a hold of this video, they'll fire me in a heartbeat. And they probably will. They'll probably see this video and be like, uh-oh, he's talking bad about the company, even though the company deserves to be talked bad about because management's terrible and it's a top-down issue. Top down, baby. It's a top-down issue. Anyway, honestly, if I have to do DoorDash, look, if I have to do DoorDash and I have to in YouTube Live, it sounds actually kind of nice. If I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys, doing DoorDash is actually less stressful. And I don't get taxed on tips anymore. Woo. So not having to get taxed on tips, it's a big deal, man. Did I show you guys I think I've showed you guys my fantasy football team. I'm one of those fantasy football losers. But yeah, S47 saying just poop your pants on the last day of work. I don't know when my last day will be. Could be tomorrow. They could just be like, you're not worth the trouble anymore. Just get the hell out. And I'll be like, okay, you gonna fire me then? And they'll be like, yeah, whatever it takes. And I'll get my unemployment. So I just figure if I'm gonna be abused and treated like crap, I want to get everything I can out of it. Oh, heck yeah, dude. All my players are ready to go. They're no longer in questionable status. Looks like Calvin Ridley's good. Show you guys real quick. So this is cool. So I managed to really stack my team here. We got my boy Patty Mahomes, dude. See, this is gonna be a tough one. Hold on. Let me see if I can make this visible. This might be a little tough to view. Conquista. Oh, here we go. Warren, Chase. So this is my fantasy football lineup that I in Slack's league, by the way. This was Cody Slack's league, and my goodness, right here. McConkey, Chase. Look at that. I got Justin Jefferson. I even got Adam Thielen, by the way. S47 says, let's see, your fridge looks like my. Oh my god. Let's see. Baltachi says, hold off till the end of the year. It's better it gets Bitcoin. No, I'm not. Look, I will continue to bet against Bitcoin periodically because honestly, I've made a lot of money betting against Bitcoin. And it could be, that's another source of income for me. I've got multiple sources, man. I could do one whole month where I just do like virtually nothing but DoorDash and probably make a pretty good chunk of money in a month. Like if I really put pedal to the metal, did 10 hours a day, like 7 days a week for a whole month, I could probably make enough money to sustain myself and have a month vacation. You know what I mean? Work hard for a month, take a month off, or just do streaming for a month after that, you know? See how much money I can make just doing 24/7 streaming. Yeah, honestly, like I said, at this point, man, I'm just not a happy guy. I'm a grumpy boy. Let's see. Batachi says, how about starting a series for start of your career at DoorDash and see what it actually pays or whatever? But people would. Well, I mean, I already do DoorDash. Like, I actually do DoorDash on the side. I just don't do it that often because I'm working my job that I do for 8 hours a day. But at this point, I'm going to have to, after work, I'm just going to have to start doing DoorDash just because I'm going to have to get back in the swing of it because I don't do DoorDash that often. I need to do it a little more often is what I'm saying. So after today, I'm very determined that I've never felt more like they're going to try to can me before than now. Like, I already thought so, but like this was like the solidifier. I was like, dude, you guys are doing this on a technicality? Are you kidding me? But no, if it comes down to that, yeah. And here's the thing, man. Like I said, I do swing trading with the S-bit. That's an extra source of income. I do have my dividend income, so that does help when it comes down to paying down my car and stuff like that. So I may, if I make a lot of money in DoorDash, then I'll, keep reinvesting my dividends the way I reinvest. But if I don't, well, we'll figure that out. I do like that I get cashback rewards for my Robinhood Gold credit card. I get 3% cash back, which I dump into my Robinhood brokerage account. It really helps out quite a bit, so it's a win-win situation. But yeah, betting against Bitcoin at this point, it just seems like the smart thing to do. Yeah, I told my girlfriend it's like it is, and it's crazy, and I want to get fired. But yeah, at this point, I'm kind of just Yeah, but that's not a great caption. I mean, like a video title or whatever. I don't know. Oh no, here's the thing, man. As far as it goes, I really just want to talk about finance on this channel. I am getting sick and tired of having to talk about my employer TTEC and how terrible management treats me. Like, I'm just done with that. I wanted to reveal it today because I was hesitant to do it, and I was like, no, they're trying to fire me, so they're gonna fire me one way or another. They're gonna find something. Hopefully, they find this video. Maybe this will be the ammunition they need. I don't really care anymore. Like, it's gotten to that point where, like, I feel so I really feel targeted, and it's upsetting. I am upset. I don't want to be this upset. I don't want to be. But I'm letting them control me. You know? I can't give them I don't want to give them that control, do I? I don't like to see myself as a victim, but man, right now it feels like it. I honestly just feel sad. One moment, I'm going to look up some stuff. You know what's cool? DoorDash, actually, I would get taxed less because I'd be doing 1099 work. And I track all my miles, so I use that as write-off. So honestly, I would make way more money doing DoorDash than anything else. Let's see. Beltachi says betting against Bitcoin is kind of rough, bro. It goes up once every 5 years and it goes down once every 5 years. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing for me personally. Like, I'm really playing the volatility. So with SBIT, it goes up rapidly. So I'll trickle buy. Like, I'll buy one share as the SBIT goes down. If it goes down again the next day, I buy another share. I buy another share. Because the way I look at it is this: I already own Bitcoin. I got into Bitcoin early. If Bitcoin goes to $1 million, I make a lot of money either way. And the unrealized gains end up covering any of the unrealized losses on the SBIT. So the thing is, for me, SBIT is more of I just feel like there's no justification for Bitcoin having a valuation that is higher than Amazon when Amazon actually does more good for the world than Bitcoin. Bitcoin is, I really do believe, is a net negative to society. I don't think it's a good thing. That's my opinion, though. Hey, have at it, though. I'm not going to argue Bitcoin today. I'm really just upset about TTEC, being a bad company. Treating, like, is this what they want? Do they want their employees to hate them so much that their employees go out on a live video and start trash talking the company? Because their crazy managers make me feel like I'm crazy, because I feel like the way they gaslight me is insane. Like, I hate it, man. And it's nice to see that people on the TTEC subreddits have had similar issues with these types of supervisors. So, who knows, maybe it is about these supervisors. I don't know. But my point is this. I'm tired of feeling like crap about this job. I really do like this job. Even though it seems like I don't, I actually do. I think that's the saddest part about all this. Oh, my boy Hunter Henry's available. Hell yeah. Yeah, here's the thing, man. Like I said, like with Bitcoin, just a quick thing. Yeah, I got into Bitcoin real early, and I've had a lot of unrealized gains because, like I said, I never sold my Bitcoin, so it just keeps going up in market value. But because it has no intrinsic value and it doesn't produce anything, even though I'm holding it, doesn't mean I believe in it. It means I believe that I like to have a hedge in anything I bet against. So owning the Bitcoin that I have is really the hedge. Because what if you guys do pump it to 1 million or 2 million or $4 million per coin? That's scary. I don't think it'll ever get to that because I don't think there's that much interest. I think most people with a lick of sense believe that Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme, just like NFTs. Um, but no, I don't really look. Like I said, I don't want to quit because I get nothing out of the deal if I quit. If they fire me, it'll be a wrongful termination for sure because I do produce numbers. I do really well. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not the perfect call center agent in the world, but I'm not afraid to take phone calls, and I take about 50, 55 on a bad day. I take 45 if it's slow. Whereas other people on a slow day take about 35 or 30. You know what I mean? So it's like it's one of those things that like I'm not taking the job seriously anymore. I'm gonna be there on time, um, but I think if they're gonna give me that second written warning, yeah, I've got no choice but to, especially on a technicality. You can give me a corrective on a technicality, but that's pretty stupid. I think most companies would understand these situations. It's not like I don't come in. I do come in and I produce at a high level. That's reliability. And yeah, I was having a rough August. But 92.9% reliability in August, and our like you're really gonna write me up on a technicality here? That's a technicality. And I'm not buying it. So I'm not allowing it. I'm just not going to acknowledge it. Hold on. Give me a second. Sorry for the delay, folks. Bildachi says, I think you're probably right. You worked for the company for 13 years, having one rough month is a poor excuse for firing. No, I didn't get fired, like I said. Having one rough month is pretty bad to give me a second corrective action. And by the way, the first corrective, okay, I'll give him props. I understand. I get it. The second one was really nitpicking. You were cherry picking on that one because I was really close to meeting the reliability standard. And all I had to do, I was actually legitimately sick on one of the days that I actually had to take off. Like, I was legitimately sick. I could have used wellness time. I didn't realize it. I thought wellness time counted against me. If I would have known. Instead, if you use PTO and you're sick, it doesn't count. It counts against your reliability. My company's so backwards. I want to let you guys know, TTEC is a backwards company. Happy to say it. Happy to promote that. I used to kind of advocate this company too. I was like, TTEC's not that bad. I think, they seem like they're turning a new leaf. Nope. I'm done giving them chances. You have a disgruntled employee who's really who's worked his ass off. You make me feel like I'm always threatened for my job going away. It's like, dude, just come on. So TTEC, you want a reason to fire me? There's a video. Irony is I don't even need to trash talk TTEC. The TTEC Reddit says it all. I go on the TTEC Reddit and pretty damning shit. I think I might just hit the Indeed. Baldacci says, do you feel like they're plotting? Absolutely. I've never felt this targeted in my life. It's legit. I feel targeted. And not just feel. I know. If I was legitimately paranoid, I would think that the world was out against me, right? The problem is, the only people who seem to be against me are my managers. They're supposed to be a support structure. They're supposed to be understanding to some degree. And there's no understanding. None. So I don't, since the company is hiring terrible managers who make me feel like shit, it made me anxious to even want to go into work. I get punished because I come in a couple times late. 5 times in August. I'll admit that. I came in late 5 times. Not perfect. Mainly because of technical issues, though, because the system sucks. The equipment that they give us is refurbished low grade. The system that I use, my desktop computer, is freaking faster than their crap. So yeah, TTEC, you can go to hell. You can go straight to hell. Like, I've never been more done with a company in my life. Look at that. Ex-trainer leaked my personal identifiable information through ADP, right? So this person says, yeah, she's delusional AS. Fuck. To think that she can get away with this and that it wasn't going to get back to me. I actually find it extremely funny because the girl she told now works at my new job. Well, I guess she thought me and the person she told would never see each other. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, anyway, TTEC's a garbage company. And it is a dumpster fire, like what these people say. Hold on. Got a bit of a stain. But yeah, sorry, I had to wait. I didn't realize it. See. Oh, no. I don't really care what anybody thinks about TTEC. If you want to think it's a great company, go right ahead. Maybe you had a good experience. But I just think it's a bad company. It really is, and it's rotten to the core. They claim to be a people company, but that's such a freaking lie. It's such a lie. It just I'm bugged by it, you guys. I'm really bugged by it, you know? Because when you make an effort, a true effort, and you do a good job, and you come in a little bit late every now and then because you're stressed out about management and you just don't want to deal with management because you're just like, what are they going to say today? What's the deal today? What do I have to deal with today? It's been an uncomfortable environment for me. And it all started with my lead. It all started with, I won't say her full name, but we'll just call her B. It all started with B, the lead who gives me my one-on-ones. She is a piece of work, and she is condescending. She has a very upspeak tone. She just makes me feel like I'm stupid and don't understand how anything works. And whenever she talked to me, it felt like I was going to the principal's office. Dude, how ridiculous is that? I shouldn't have to feel like that. I'm a damn grown adult, man. So, no. I'm done with this company. I'll keep talking about this company, though, because I don't think it's a good company. And this is the truth. This is my truth. I'm allowed to have an opinion, especially when there's a lot of people who seem to back up my claim. Interesting. So you could say this is slander of a company, but how is it slander when I'm really just reading everybody's opinions of you? And if we think you're a shitty company, you're a shitty company. So screw it. So yeah, I'm pretty much ready to have them let me go. If this video is the reason for it, I will be honored. Because at this point, I'm kind of, like I said, I don't want to go from this, I really don't want to quit. I would love to avoid having to quit. I don't even really want to get fired. If you want to know the truth, I love doing the job itself. Like I just don't love my management because I feel like they're demeaning and they're more of an obstacle than they are a solution. Supposedly management's supposed to be a good thing. Management in this instance is not. So I've gone on long enough of a rant. If you guys get bored, definitely check out the TTEC subreddit. It is hilarious because so many people, deservedly so, trash talk this company. It's deserved. Like, I want to see what the newest posts are. I want to see, like, there's the best, and then there's the newest. Sort by new. This is an interesting one. Let's see. How the work culture appraisal. Don't expect appraisals to work sucks, but work from home guaranteed. How long you been working? You know, it's funny. I don't want to quit. I mean, obviously at this point, it's coming down to it. I'm now just on Reddit looking at random boards. Wall Street Bets is always a fun one to look at. But yeah, anyway, you guys, I'm sorry. I think I might be done live streaming for the night. At this point, I think after work, I'm going to have to start doing more DoorDash. I think is going to be the key. I'm going to have to start accumulating a little bit of money on the side, extra, just in case a rainy day happens. It's time to admit I don't see any sunny days left with this company. I don't see any real growth of this company. And actually, you know what? Let's take a look. TTEC stock. Let's take a look at their holdings real quick. So TTEC holding stock. Let's see. They're down 3.64%. Okay. Let's see. What's the 5-day window? Last 5 days are down 1.3%. So for the month, this is shocking. Now, I did buy into TTEC when it got really low in price. So it has gone up quite a bit, which is good. Might be some shock, some surprise. But over the last year, it has gone down 25.5%. Last 5 years, it's gone down 51.79%. And the maximum of all time, 79%. That's its all time. It started at, wow. So let's see. Is it digital global consumer experience technology and services company focused on? As much, even though I've been working for TTEC for a while, like the company has never been less clear to me these days. I want to see if they've changed anything. Let's see. Is it digital focused on design implementation? Yeah, I think it's a garbage. It's a garbage firm, dude. I just. I'm just not happy, you guys. I am just very upset. So the person that I felt like they got like potentially S-canned or whatever, I feel like, yeah, I feel like she got totally canned, unfortunately, because this company is terrible. Freaking terrible, dude. Well, anyway, I'm done. I'm tired. I'm upset. I can't do this anymore, you guys. I'm just very, very pissed. Anyway.